Well, it's one of those days, folks. There has been some sad news around Respawn Entertainment's latest major release, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, and that is of course that its release date has been delayed. In a time when we see a lot of major AAA game releases regularly delayed, you'd hope that Jedi Survivor wouldn't have been delayed a mere 6 weeks before it was due to be released upon the world. The reason I say that is because in December we got further insight into the game with a more in-depth trailer, and then we saw EA and Respawn start to promote the game even more, and everything pointed it to being released as scheduled on the 17th of March. But unfortunately here we are, and that is not going to be the case. In a tweet released by EA Star Wars on the evening of the 31st of January, well, evening by UK times, they mentioned that they opted to delay the release, and I quote, to hit the studio's quality bar. And they also mentioned to do that, they're going to be providing the team the time they need to achieve the level and polish that our fans deserve. In another quote on the statement, it says, "We are now focused entirely on the final stage. Bug fixes to enhance performance, stability, polish, and most importantly, the player experience." Now, as a software developer myself, I'm quite happy with this news as it allows the game developers to make things absolutely right. And we have seen all too often recently games being released far too early, and the main example of that in the last couple of years is of course Cyberpunk 2077. And if you played Cyberpunk at its release, you will have realised that it was incredibly buggy, and if you had it on Xbox One or PS4, you probably realised that it was barely playable whatsoever. Now of course Jedi Survivor has it just a little bit easier is the fact that it is next gen only, so it doesn't have to cater for all the technology, but still not having it being a buggy mess would be lovely. Also, just take a look at Battlefield 2042. Me and myself, along with millions of other people, were super hyped for that game just by watching the launch trailer alone. But of course, when the game was released upon the world, it was just one other buggy mess. And it seems that EA may have slightly learnt their lesson with Jedi Survivor by allowing Respawn to delay the release of the game. Though I'll suspect they'll make the same mistake again with another game in the future because, you know, it's EA, and they repeat all of their same mistakes over and over again. But there is some positive news around this delay, would you believe, and that is it's only a delay of 6 weeks, which is a much shorter delay than other AAA games tend to have, and it will give the game a new release date of April 28th, 2023. And that does make me think that the game really is almost there, because 6 weeks in the grand scheme of things of a game this big isn't that long at all. So hopefully Respawn are just ironing out a few little things so the game is properly ready to go by the end of April. I would assume that there'll be no issues or bugs with this game when it's finally released 6 weeks later, but I hope I'm not going to be eating my words. And I don't know about you, but I am so damn hyped for the release of Jedi Survivor. I cannot wait to see what Respawn have done to build on Jedi Fallen Order with new combat, new traversal techniques, a larger game by the looks of it, and so much more. I will of course be covering everything to do with Jedi Survivor, including all new updates and hopefully no more delay updates, and other AAA games being released later in 2023, so why don't you hit those like and subscribe buttons if you're still here so you don't miss out on any of those. And as always, thank you for watching and catch you in the next video.